Alright, so much for the vocabulary part. We now move forward to the sentence completion with logical or grammatical fit items sa civil service examination under your verbal skills. Here, these items will require selecting the most appropriate word to complete a sentence based on grammar, logic, tone, or even idiomatic usage. Okay? So let's be ready with it. Kagaya nitong item number 1 under this branch. Okay? Basahin natin. Realizing that we were determined to go, our experienced friends blank that there might be more difficulties along the way than we expect. Okay. So let us dissect what the sentence really is. Realizing that we were determined to go. Okay, they have already decided to go because they are determined to go. Meron silang mga experienced friends. May mga nakapunta ng friends doon sa pupuntahan nila. That's why, yung blank, no? Blank, that there might be more difficulties along the way than we expect. Ano yung sinabi nilang yun? Did they dismiss that? Did they intimidated that? Which is, parang hindi fit, no? Did they insist on that? Did they projected on that? Or is that a conclusion? Ano, sir? Yung that there might be more difficulties along the way than we expect. Okay? So, yun yung essence ng sentence. Since this is grammar or sentence completion, we have to really locate the correct answer. And dito muna, ipapaganahin yung instincts mo na kapag hindi fit yung ginamit na word, wag mo nang i-insist na yun yung tamang sagot. Kaagad-agad, tanggalin mo na siya. Okay? So what could be the correct answer? We are now determined to go, but our experienced friends said that there might be more difficulties along the way than we expect. Now, that warning, is it dismissed? Is it intimidated? Is it insisted by them? Is it projected by them? Or is it concluded by them? The answer is, ano sa tingin ninyo ang sagot natin? The answer is number 3. It's number 3, insisted. As I have said, no, the first, realizing that we were determined to go, sinabi ko na nga na the speaker and their group had already made up their minds. They are now pushing ahead with their plans. But they have an experience or they have experienced friends, okay, that were able to experience the terrain, the way, or ano pa, the complexity ng pupuntahan nilang lugar kung saan man yan, hindi natin alam, because they are experienced and they have likely the knowledge or insight and might warn the others or advise based on that experience. Now, the second portion, sinabi dito, that there might be more difficulties along the way than we expect. This is a warning or concern, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, and that yung pipiliin nating word is a verb that must reflect someone firmly communicating that concern. Gusto niyang ipangalandakan, gusto niyang sabihin. And when we talk about something, firmly communicating yung mga concern natin, paano natin to sasabihin? Do we project it? Do we insist it? Do we conclude that? The correct word then here is insist. Because once again, no, when there is something na dangerous, mag-i-issue ka ng warning. Mag-i-issue ka ng concern. Now, para hindi mangyari yung something dangerous sa mga group of friends na yon, you have to insist na dangerous nga yun. Okay? To prevent any more harm than what they have experienced nung pumunta sila in the first instance. Okay? That's why you insist on something. Okay? Bakit hindi pwedeng dismissed? Because when you say dismiss, you reject or downplay something. Okay? This is a contradiction doon sa second part of the sentence, di ba? Hindi naman pwedeng i-dismiss nila yung sarili nilang warning. Number 2, intimidated. This is grammatically awkward. Di ba sinabi ko na kanina, parang hindi siya fit. So kapag hindi fit, since this is sentence completion, tanggalin natin. Number 4, projected. Di ba sinabi ko kanina, pwede siguro nilang i-project na may mangyari, pero hindi naranasan na nila. Okay? They are experienced doon sa terrain or doon sa lugar na pupuntahan nila. Alright? That's why this is not mere forecasting anymore. This is a strong warning or concern. And number 5, hindi pwedeng concluded because this is too neutral. Okay? Once again, merong forceful warning here. And the intent of issuing a warning is to prevent any harm that might happen. That's why you insist na ganito. Huwag mong gawin yan. You have to insist. You do not have to conclude. And sana, habang nasa exam kayo later on, ito dapat yung mga arguments na sasabihin nyo sa self ninyo. Para at least, maliwanagan kayo sa kung ano dapat yung tamang sagot. Because there are things na akala nyo, ito na yung tamang sagot. But no, you have to think deeper. Analyze more. Okay? I hope this is clear. We now move forward to the next one. We now move forward to the second item on the sentence completion portion of our verbal skills. So the second item goes like this: ang patuloy na pag-angkat ng mga produktong banyaga na siya naming tinatangkilik, na siya namang tinatangkilik ng mga mamamayan ang dahilan ng blank ng mga industriyang lokal. I repeat, ang patuloy na pag-angkat ng mga produktong banyaga na siya namang tinatangkilik ng mga mamamayan, that's us Filipinos, ang dahilan ng blank ng mga industriyang lokal. When we say industriyang lokal, those are the MSMEs dito sa Philippines. Okay? So, the blank portion may be 1, paghinto ng mga industriyang lokal. Is it 2, pagbabago ng mga industriyang lokal? 3, pagtitipid ng mga industriyang lokal? Number 4, pagkawala ng mga industriyang lokal? O number 5, pagkalugi ng mga industriyang lokal? Now, the first thing na isasagot nyo would be number 5. Right? And you are correct. This is so easy lang, no? If we are going to dissect yung sentence mismo, yung first sentence, ang patuloy na pag-angkat ng mga produktong banyaga, ang ibig sabihin lang naman ay patuloy ang pag-import ng mga foreign products. Then, it went on to say na siya namang tinatangkilik ng mga mamamayan. Kagaya ng sinabi ko, yung mga Pilipino, bumibili ng mga dayuhang produkto kaysa sa mga lokal na produkto. And dahil dito, ang epekto sa mga industriyang lokal ay, of course, negative. Right? So, merong pagliit ng kita, meron dyan yung mga kawalan ng kita talaga, at tuluyang pagkalugi. Bakit hindi pwede yung number 1, paghinto? Maaring mangyari. Pero titingnan natin na malulugi muna dapat ang isang negosyo bago siya tumigil. Okay? The very first or the pangunahing epekto bago huminto ang operasyon ay ang pagkalugi. Number 2, pagbabago. medyo vague ito, no? Ito yung sinasabi nating vague or ambiguous. Masyadong malawak. And it's not certain whether it's positive or negative yung change or pagbabago na dulot ito. So, hindi yan plausible answer. Number 3, pagtitipid, walang kaugnayan sa industriyang lokal. So, might as well omit that. And number 4, pagkawala. Dito naman is masyado kasing malawak or dramatic. Okay? It's not certain whether yung industriya ba yung nawala. Diba? So, might as well delete that in your choices later on na. Okay? Para mas mabilis ang inyong pag-arrive sa tamang conclusion and answer. Alright, number 3. The third item. A strong government is needed to promote blank, not dependency, and to encourage free enterprise. Okay? Very straightforward. A strong government is the solution. Okay? A strong government is needed to promote what? What could be the effect of a strong government? Okay? You can see there, meron kang marker, not dependency. So yan na, titignan mo na yan. What is the antonym of dependency? First thing that will pop up on your mind is independence, right? Dependency, independence. Saan dyan ang independence sa choices? Is it 1, self-alienation? Is it 2, self-evaluation? Is it 3, self-reliance? Is it 4, self-awareness? Or number 5, self-determination? Okay. You have to dissect. Alienation, evaluation, reliance, awareness, determination. Saan kaya dyan yung ako mismo? Yung kahit wala akong inaagrabyadang tao or ginugulong tao. Yung kayang-kaya ko. Is it alienation? Evaluation? Is it self-reliance? Is it awareness or determination? The answer is self-reliance. Number 3. The root word, no? Nandyan na, reliance. Self-reliance. You are reliant, yes, but to yourself lang. Ikaw lang mismo. Okay? Tignan mo. Tignan natin. As I have said, we are looking for a word that means the opposite of dependency. So, in a form of independence or even self-sufficiency. Hindi pwede yung alienation. Bakit? Kasi when you self-alienate, you disconnect from the society. Or even you disconnect or a person disconnects from himself or herself. Technically, it's a generally negative psychological term. So it's not related to the context, which is purely economic and governmental in nature. Kasi, di ba, pinag-uusapan natin the government na strong and then the economy. Right? Ano naman ang self-evaluation? So, medyo malayo na to, no? Pwede nyo nang i-slash to sa mga possible choices ninyo. Kasi kapag self-evaluation, it means assessing yourself. May internal reflection ka. And not about the opposite of dependency. The same is true with self-awareness, right? Knowing oneself. Again, it is not directly tied to independence or being free or self-sufficiency. Okay? Number 5, self-determination. Okay? Well, it's closer in meaning, but it means control over one's own life or nation naman kasi ito. More political and philosophical, hindi siya about government or the economy, right? Political, yes, but it's mere philosophical nature, no? Yung belief ng isang tao, self-determination. Ginagamit ito sa education, lalo sa psychology, no? Self-reliance, as I have said, fits the sentence better because it specifically addresses that of the economic and governmental issue of self-sufficiency through a strong government. Okay? Thus, the answer here is self-reliance. Self-reliance, self-sufficiency, independence. Okay. We now move forward to the next one. Mass media develop in us level of consciousness that keeps us blank current events. Okay. I repeat, mass media is a subject, right? It develops in us the level of consciousness. Ang effect ng mass media na de-develop sa atin, ang level ng consciousness that keeps us what? Of current events. Are we interested in current events because of mass media? Are we adjusting to current events because of mass media? Parang hindi na, no? So, on the outset, cross mo na. Are we getting excited over mass media? Okay? I don't know if that's plausible, but on the outset, titignan mo, hindi naman yan yung best fit. So, tanggalin mo na rin. Because of mass media, we develop level of consciousness that keeps us fearful of current events. Is that correct? Or is it 5, abreast of current events? Of course, if you have already heard of this one, you immediately answer is it number 3 or 4? It's number 5. You keep abreast of different current events because of mass media, because of its availability, no? Efficiency, lahat, no? One click away ka. And that is exactly what this context offers us. So, madali nyo na lang siyang masasagutan. A, to be updated or well-informed. I repeat, to be abreast of something means to be updated or even well-informed about latest developments. Alright. Okay? Hindi pwedeng interested in because, it's grammatically okay, but it's too weak. No? You can be interested but still not updated, right? So, hindi rin pwede ang adjusting to. It doesn't fit. Diba sinabi ko kanina, kung medyo awkward, tanggalin. Excited over. Hindi naman yun yung general function ng mass media. News isn't always exciting, right? And number 4, fearful of. This is incorrect tone. The context or yung sentence na ino-offer dito sa item na to is on awareness and it's not about fear. Okay? So, titignan nyo mabuti ang mga yan. I hope that is clear. We move forward to the next one. Ayan. Failure, okay, medyo kwento, no? Medyo challenging siyang intindihin. Tingnan natin. Let's dissect. Failure is the most tiring experience a person can ever have. There is nothing more blank than not succeeding, being blanked, not moving ahead. Okay. Is it 1, invigorating? Is it 2, discouraging? Is it 3, exhilarating? Is it 4, enervating? Or 5, depressing? With that, alam mo kaagad, no? Parang meron ka na kaagad-agad na sagot. But I advise you to take this to the next level na analysis. Okay? Because the answer might shock you. Let us go back to the sentence. Failure is the most tiring experience. Okay, you see, this is about an experience that is so tiring. Okay? And what was the cause of that tiring experience? It's failure. And how did the speaker here define failure? Okay? Sabi niya, hindi siya nagsasucceed, not succeed. Hindi siya, or he or she is being blocked. Okay? He or she is not moving ahead. yun daw ang failure sa kanya. Dito sa sentence na to sa context na ito. So, hindi pwedeng invigorating ka agad-agad because that's something exhilarating, right? Yung 1 and 3 ka agad-agad, no? That's why the only left is number 2, 4, and 5. We now dissect. Okay? Because there are 3 plausible answers, right? Natandaan natin, the missing word here must describe something that is emotionally or mentally exhausting. Okay? It must be tied to frustration, defeat, or loss of momentum. And it must be a natural result of failure. Hindi natin hinahanap dito ang description or definition ng failure. We are not asked to define failure, but rather we are to describe how it feels dun sa speaker. And that must match the feeling of tiredness. Okay? It's a tiring experience of being stuck and blocked by opportunities and whatnot. Tignan natin, invigorating sinabi ko na, opposite in meaning hindi pwede. Tignan yung number 2, discouraging. It's plausible, but take note, okay? Discouraging means causing someone to lose confidence or enthusiasm. Okay? It's emotionally accurate, but it focuses more on the emotion of a person than yung fatigue niya na nararanasan. Okay? So, it might not match yung intensity dun sa hinahanap nating standard, the most tiring experience. Okay, so tanggalin na natin ang discouraging. Clearly, no? Incorrect yung number 3, exhilarating. Sinabi ko na yan. Kasi kapag exhilarating, exciting, thrilling, diba? It's opposite in tone and logic. Number 4, tingnan natin, enervating. You know what? Enervating kasi, ang ibig sabihin niyan, physically or mentally draining. Kaagad-agad on the outset. If you're going to search about it, it's physically or mentally draining. Parang sinasap niya yung energy ng isang tao. Now, if we're going to analyze the word, it matches perfectly dun sa word na tiring. Okay? Because you see, meron tayong marker na not succeeding, being blocked, and not moving ahead. Tatlo na descriptions. Diba? It's physically or mentally draining. It saps out your energy. All of those are not just discouraging, yung tatlong yun eh. It's deeply exhausting and might be the most tiring experience na pwedeng ma-experience daw ng isang tao according to the speaker. Pero let us not lose hope dun sa number 5. Kasi baka depressing naman kasi talaga. But as I have said, this is also plausible. There's emotional heaviness, sadness, or demoralization kapag nade-depress. But take note, it leans more toward the mood of a person than the total loss of strength or energy implied by tiring. Yung word na tiring, it implies the loss of strength and energy. That's why yun dapat yung titingnan nyo. In civil service examinations, it doesn't necessarily mean na kung ito yung commonly used term ng mga tao, iyon na yung tamang sagot. Take note that there are more plausible terminologies na masasama sa mga choices. And that is part of the whole framework and design of civil service examination. To trick you into choosing a more relative terminology, a more popular terminology, where in fact, it was only placed there to trick you kasi may mas appropriate na term. Okay, sana klaro yun sa inyo. That's why the answer here is number 4, enervating. I think this is the last item for the sentence completion as we move forward to the third part of the verbal skills natin.